When I was still a kid, I'd had to have been like 11 or 12 years old. I was not by any means popular at my school. I was one of the many kids that had to endure being harassed and bullied on basically a daily basis. However, no matter what, I always did my best to defend myself if and when it came down to an actual fist fight. But I was not one to go looking for trouble. I pretty much kept to myself. My parents knew that I did not really like any of the other kids in my class. They knew I had no close friends, maybe little to no friends, maybe I had one. And my parents were correct, and honestly, I really didn't care if I had friends or not. For the first decade of my life, when I was not at school, I spent pretty much all my time up in my bedroom playing video games. But all that changed when my parents sat me down one day and asked me if I would be interested in joining Cub Scouts. And I was all for it, mainly because I was into anything that had to do with camping and nature. And I figured that the other kids there that would join and be at the scout meetings with me, well, hell, they can't be any worse than the jerks I dealt with at my school on a daily basis, right? So I agreed with my parents and told them that I would like to join the Scouts. Greetings, everyone. I'm your host, Robert Rath, and this is RathCo Gaming, and this is a special documentary to honor a very close friend whom I considered a brother and still do, Stephen CROSNIAK. I hope that you enjoyed the introductory portion of this video. That was just myself teaching you all, letting you all know what type of person Stephen CROSNIAK was. And now I would like to explain to you all the timeline of our friendship. Now, shortly after I met Stephen in the Cub Scouts, we became instant friends, as I said, and we spent a whole lot of time together, especially in the summer months. I remember every summer we would see each other, and we would hang out, and there have always been two people in this world that I could literally talk to about anything and feel comfortable. And that was Stephen CROSNIAK and the other individual who is a sister to me. I'm not going to use her real name. We're going to refer to her as Eve. But she is not local to me. But we still talk on the phone and over the internet. But as for Stephen, throughout the years of my teen years and my adolescence, all of us know that there are things that we could never talk about our parents or talk to our parents about. And for me, the person I spoke to about stuff like that I couldn't go to my parents, it was Steve or Eve. And I still remember my first serious breakup. My first really serious relationship was with my daughter's mother. My daughter's 16 now, so it was quite a while ago, but when I had my first big breakup with her, I told my parents I wanted to go out to Arcade, where Steve CROSNIAK was staying at the time. And as soon as I got out there, he was understanding. We talked. We had a few drinks. We smoked some pot. And every time I talked to him, he always had a way of making me feel better. Even if it was only a little bit, even if it was only for a short while, he did everything for me. And I tried to do everything for him, We enjoyed our video games. That was the greatest thing to us, was gaming. I remember Final Fantasy IX, and Final Fantasy IX it still is one of my favorite games. But when FF10, when Final Fantasy X came out, Steve and I were both huge fans of it. And every time he would come over, I remember the one summer I called him to come over to check out this controller I had gotten. Oh, excuse me. It was one of those big joystick ones, and it had the joystick sticking out of it, and it had the big round buttons, and I'm fairly certain it was Final Fantasy themed or Mortal Kombat themed or something. I wish I still had the damn thing. But if memory serves, it was for my PS2. And I remember looking out, not in this bedroom, I had the other bedroom that's down the hall, but I remember looking out my bedroom window, and it looks out toward, you could see our backyard, and you could see Quitton Street, which is the street that I live off of. It's a really long street. And I would always sit there staring, waiting to see Steven's father's car turn our corner, because then I knew he was almost here. And another thing that we had in common, Magic the Gathering. We both really enjoyed playing cards. And no matter what, every one of my birthday parties, if he was able to get there, he was always there. I remember all the times we had fun together, drinking, hanging out. And he had mobility problems, so it was tough for him to move around, but he still... I remember one occasion, one birthday party. I can tell this is going to be a multi-part documentary, but this will be volume 1. But anyways, I remember the one party was held in my friend Dave's sunroom. It was on an undisclosed street, not pretty nearby to my house. It was about 4 or 5 block walk. And Steve got here, and I explained to him, I said, dude, you're my fucking brother. We can just stay here and invite people. It's my birthday, And he said no, because he knew that he probably figured it out that I had alcohol and stuff there, and everything was set for there. But he, regardless of how he felt, he always wanted to please his friends. He always wanted to please other people. He was a very selfless person. That's one of the things I miss most about Stephen CROSNIAK, because he was a truly good person. And they do say that the good die young, but I will spend every day of the rest of my life, every time I think about him, I will ask myself, why? Why? I don't want to get into religion, but I am a Catholic, and I just would like to ask God why he would call someone home like Steve CROSNIAK, such a good, kind person, while horrible people go on living. Like, I never understood that. I really didn't, but I have to keep my friend Steve CROSNIAK's memory alive because of the wonderful person he was, and I just miss him so much, and I just hope that wherever he is, he's not in pain and he's happy. Because I remember he was the first person that introduced me to peer-to-peer file sharing when I was younger, before the internet outlawed it all, and we were on Kazaa, we were downloading all kinds of stuff. He is the first person to explain to me the Rule 34, Internet Rule 34 concept. I don't even have to say it on here, and I'm not going to say it, but if it exists, there's a bit. And Stephen CROSNIAK was the one who got me to realize that. But there's so much more that I could say about Steve CROSNIAK, but I didn't script anything, which is why there will inevitably be a part 2 to this documentary, because, as I said, our friendship was a long and good one, and I've got so many great stories to tell, but I have to remember them all and type them up or get them down on paper and recite them to you in part 2 of my brother, Stephen CROSNIAK. This has been a 2024 RathCo production. I am your host, Robert Robbie Rath. To my friend Stephen CROSNIAK, may you rest in peace. I love and miss you, my brother, and God bless you. I really miss you. Farewell for now, and I'll be back to honor your memory with part 2 of the RathCo documentary, My Brother, Stephen CROSNIAK. Until then, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your support, purchases, everything. You guys fucking rock. You guys are awesome. There would be no RathCo without you. I consider each and every one of you a member of the RathCo family of gamers and friends. You have my love and respect, and until next time, look out for zombies and umbrella, watch out, don't get bit, and have a great evening.